Hi, this is a video for our last assignments of the semester in Unit 4, Activity 4. And there's going to be two assignments in this activity. The first one, as usual, when we get to the ending of a unit, we have a review activity. And so it asks you to download the Unit 4 review questions. There's 12 of them. And as always with the review questions, I'm not going to grade them, but it's a very good idea to answer them and submit them, and I'll give you my feedback. You might, in particular for the Unit 4 review questions, you might want to save these, not just because they could be helpful for another English course that you would take in the future, but also if you're applying for a job or if you're doing anything in terms of career planning. Some of the material in this unit hopefully was helpful and hopefully you can use again later in your life. So if you do download the Unit 4 review questions, they'll look like this right here. I'll get it open. And so again, as always with our review questions at the ending of the units, you should be able to find the answers right in the unit. So if you go back to Activity 1, 2, 3, and 4, you should be able to find the answers. And so you can use your own words, you can use the words from the website, that's up to you. Just make sure that you understand the material. And so again, there's questions 1, 2, all the way to question 12. You'll notice the last question is about cover letters, which is what our next assignment and our last assignment of the semester is going to be on here in a minute. If you do have any questions, though, about the review questions or anything about Unit 4, please let me know. And now we move on to the last assignment that will be graded this semester, and that's a cover letter. So hopefully you just looked over the content of Unit 4, Activity 4, and hopefully you have a good understanding of what a cover letter looks like. And so for this assignment, you're going to write your own cover letter, and you're going to address that letter to a company in which you'd like to work at. So find a job that you're interested in and a company that could provide you with that job, and write your letter to that company, and you're writing focused on that particular job. If you want, you could choose the same job that you looked into previously in Unit 4 when you had to go into the job market website and find a job that you were interested in. You could use that same job if you want and now write a cover letter for that. But once you've picked a company and a job to write the letter to, you're going to have to write out your cover letter. One thing I would say here is you don't have to use your real personal information if you don't want to. If you want to make up a fake address or fake phone number, that's fine. I would like you to use your real name so that I know it's your letter. But I'm not. Some people don't care about giving out their personal information. Some people do. So it's up to you. What you can do is you can follow the cover letter template here to write your letter. And so if we open that up, you'll see it looks like this. And so if you want, you can just download this template and then just fill in the information. So your name and your address information, the date, the recipient's name. So who are you writing the letter to? What is the recipient's job title? Is he or she the manager or the human resources person? So who are you writing to at the company? And then the address of the company, and then your dear so-and-so, so whatever the name is of the person you're writing to, remember to use their last name. And then you've got your 4 paragraphs here. Your first paragraph, you introduce yourself and you identify the job you're applying for and maybe mention how you heard about the job. Your second paragraph, you explain your work, school, and volunteer experience and how those experiences help prepare you for the job. Your third paragraph explains your personality and skills, and again tries to link those points to the job that you're applying for. And then your last paragraph just concludes by politely asking for a job interview or asking them to contact you and thanking the reader. And then you can put sincerely or cordially, whichever you like here. You don't have to write your signature, but leave a space here, and then you type your name. And that's it. That's your cover letter right there. You can just fill in this information here right on this document and submit this to me if you want. So that I think is the easiest way to write your cover letter. You might want to go back and take a look in the content page and go back and take a look at an explanation of the different parts of the cover letter here and just a reminder of what you're doing. And then you might want to take a look at a completed cover letter here to make sure that yours is fitting this structure. Don't copy this cover letter in terms of the word usage. You do want to use your own words and pick your own job title and career that you're applying for, but you can use this as a guide. A couple other things that you do want to remember. In your cover letter, you want to include the following. So you want to make sure that you have the proper format so that you include the addresses, the date, the salutation, and so on here. You want to make sure that you have at least 3 or 4, pardon me, not at least, only 3 or 4 paragraphs. You don't want to write anything longer than that. And then you just want to remember what you want to include in your first paragraph, your second and third paragraph, and your fourth paragraph. Your whole letter, this is a good guide right here, your whole letter should fit on one page. You don't want cover letters going onto a second page. That's a guide. If you find yourself writing more than a page, then you're probably writing too much, and you're probably going to have to go back and kind of condense these paragraphs here. And of course, use formal language. Don't use slang. Don't use contractions. Use any person's names that you're mentioning. Use the full name. Use your own full name, first and last name. So make sure you're writing formally. You can click on the rubric here. This is how I will grade your cover letter. So the rubric looks like this. It's pretty simple. Some of the assignments we've done in this semester have had rubrics. Most of them haven't. So if you're not used to a rubric, you can certainly send me an email and let me know. But what I'm going to be grading you on is your organization. So is the letter properly organized? And that's out of 10. I'm going to grade your letter on the quality of the content of the letter. So did you properly explain your experience and your skills and your qualifications for the job? Did you use complete sentences and proper grammar? And did you identify the audience and purpose? So was it clear who you were writing for? Who you were writing to, and why you were writing the letter. So make sure that your audience and purpose is clear. Each of these is worth 10 marks each for a total of 40. And again, I'm sure you're glad to hear this. This is your last assignment of the semester. So if you do have any questions about it, please let me know.